Stretch my hands to you. Life like this is what your life like. Try to live the life right. People really know you push your buttons like type right. This is like a movie, but it's really
Kawhi Leonard, you got caught, buddy. Never happened in Toronto with Alex McKechnie, Masai Ujiri, and Nick Nurse.
You know what that says? We know how to keep a secret.
But Doc Rivers and company, they slipping. Toronto was never fine.
Surprisingly, though.
Kawhi's medical issues were never revealed to the public. And now everybody knows about his patella injury. I don't know if that really makes a difference. But we got that
Patella
and much
injury.
more coming up on In The Mix, episode
Yes,
21.
sir.
My guy, Kucukovic, with me, Jay Boyal. Let's get into it, man. It's a jam-packed show. So much going on. We got 3 sports. The 3 biggest in the world,
I
in
feel
my
like this
opinion.
is the first episode that we're talking about basketball again, eh? Since last season.
Yeah.
We haven't
The
started
last time we
yet.
recorded it was preseason.
Yes, sir.
We got NBA in the heat. The early season's been fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
NFL is rolling along. Week 9 kicking off this weekend. Huge games. 49ers versus Seahawks. Man, I can't wait. Monday nighter.
Yeah,
Jesus.
crazy ass game.
And the National Hockey League. Leafs are on a 3-game winning streak. They took down the Vegas Golden Knights. You know, New York Islanders won a 10-game winning streak. They blew a 3-0 lead to Pittsburgh last night, though, and lost in OT to the Penguins. 10-game winning
That's
streak
a
is
tough
now
one.
over.
That's alright.
And Tampa Bay, they got swept in the playoffs last year, and they are struggling out of the gate. And San Jose, they might come around, but man, I don't know how this team was in the Final Four last year.
I swear you said that too. You were saying that after, what's it called? They won, you're like, this is their last time ever. Like,
Who?
this is it. San Jose.
Well, they didn't win. That was St.
I
Louis.
mean, like, when they got far, you were like,
Yeah.
that's it.
I didn't see it
for them.
continuing. Too much money on the back end, and Brent Burns, and then you
Okay,
just
bro,
gave
they-
$11
They
million
had
to
their
Erik
one
Karlsson.
season, bro. They had their one season of excitement.
All right, and that was Kanye West, "Follow God" off Jesus is King.
Only
thoughts,
song
quick
that I
thoughts.
like, bro.
That and On God and Salah. And then they get me going.
I don't know. It's a little
It's
bit.
'cause the
It's too much
beats.
gospel for me.
Yeah, the content of the music is still gospel, but
Yeah.
the beats are fire. A few of the beats are
What
just
do you expect in today's
his Sunday service
today's
choir
rap,
singing,
yeah.
you know?
That's
Wait,
true.
but did you watch him on James Corden? It's Airpool karaoke, not carpool. It was
No.
Airpool. They did it in a plane.
Oh yeah, I seen that where they did Jesus Walks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was actually sick.
That was decent. They had good conversation. I like that better than the Big Boy interview, because the Big Boy interview was classic Kanye. He was too confrontational and fired up.
Yeah.
He was just wilding out.
You also see that he was doing an interview and he was talking about how he's gonna run for the elections.
I didn't see
And-
that one, but he's been
Oh,
saying
you
that for a while.
No, but he says he's like, so when I run, and then people start laughing in the audience. Bro, this guy with the most straight face looks at, why are you guys laughing? And they started laughing even more when he said that because they think he's playing.
He's
And
not
then
playing.
maybe like 10 seconds of dead silence, he's just staring at them. And then they realize, okay, this guy's not joking.
Kanye West does not play around.
Take
ladies
him by
and
his
gentlemen.
word, bro. He ain't joking, bro. He's not a troll.
He lives and dies on his sword, man. Have you not learned the last 12, 15 years of Kanye West's life?
Fuck,
He
if
said he was getting a porn star and he married Kim Kardashian.
Come on, you gonna disrespect man's wife? Ain't a
There's no
porn star.
disrespect.
She's an
Yo. She's a
entrepreneur.
beautiful woman, all right?
Hmm?
And now she's trying to get wrongfully convicted people out of jail. She's going to school
Bro,
to be a
she's using
lawyer.
She's using her power for
She's
a
going to
positive
school
cause,
to be a
bro.
lawyer.
That's actually what I like about her. That's the only thing I want to hear about her talk about now.
Yeah.
Her trying to get these people out of jail. I don't want to hear her talk about fucking the drama that's going on in her family and like all this keeping up with
Her
Kardashian
lip
shit.
kits,
Yeah.
her Skims outfits.
Does she do a lip kit too?
I don't know.
I thought that was just Kylie.
Maybe. Shows you what I know.
Well, both of us know clearly.
All right. The Toronto Raptors.
Yes,
We're off to
sir.
a decent start. Winning
Yep.
the games that they should. Losing the games that they should. Has anything in your mind changed from what you thought preseason, and where do you think they stand in the East early on with a 5-2 record?
So I've had this discussion many times already. To me, nothing has changed because, just like you said, we're winning the games that we should win. Our schedule's been pretty easy so far. It's
Yeah.
about to get hard. We're about to face both LA teams.
Yeah. On a back-to-back.
Yeah, exactly. And we just lost. Well, not just lost, but we lost to Milwaukee. You know, I feel
The Milwaukee game was painful first half until Kalo
it was a
snapped.
slap up, bro. But even then, we brought it within 4 points, and then again,
Well,
a separation.
Kalo can only
happens.
score so much on his own.
Exactly,
So-
man. This is where I feel like the Raptors' struggles are gonna start coming in. We can beat teams like Chicago, New Orleans. Well, until I don't know how Zion's gonna look when he comes back. Charlotte, Orlando's. We can beat those teams, but once you run into a team with star power and with that one guy that's gonna be dropping over 30 points, how are you matching it?
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like the issues come with the Raptors.
Yeah. Like, that game against Milwaukee, they were nowhere in it until Kalo went absolute bananas.
Exactly.
Right?
But as bananas as he can go, he can't win them the game.
Yeah, he scored over 30 that night and had 8 assists.
Yeah.
But that night, the reason why the Raptors' ceiling is where it is and where we expect it to be, for me, it's 4th place in the East, and that's where they're going to finish. Because I don't see Miami continuing this 6-2 record. I think they're going to start coming back down to earth. Jimmy Butler's not going to put up 30 points in the first half every night.
That's true.
Okay?
But what about the rookie?
Tyler Hero.
And the other one, too. None? Both
Well,
both
he's
of them
even
are
setting
playing
records.
out, bro.
Yeah. So we'll see if they can keep that going. But the reason why the ceiling isn't going to increase for me is because Siakam, to me, hasn't improved from last season. To me, he's the same player getting more touches. And that's why you see him going from averaging 17 points per game last season to now, early on the season, he's averaging 25.6. He's shooting 50%, which is about what he had last year, and 39 from the 3. He hasn't improved the 3-point ball, and he only scored 16 points against the Bucks when we actually needed him the most this year. And that's all he gave you. And Giannis was able to shut him down because the focus was on him.
But like, it's not a bad thing. Is what we're saying. Is he's just as good as he was last season? Because he was a beast last season. He's still a great player, but is he a superstar?
A lot of people, and correct me if I'm wrong, including you, thought he was going to make another jump this year. So far, he's looking like the same guy. He's just getting more touches now, and that's why he's increased his average by 7 points.
Again, all this offseason talk about how hard he's working, that all played into what I thought. But now, when the season's starting and I'm seeing you getting a phone call, bro?
Yeah, my cousin. It's on vibrate.
Be professional, bro.
He needs to talk business. We're talking business. He's checking in.
He's checking in.
So I'll call you later.
But yeah. Now the season started and it's the same Siakam we've seen.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem's gonna run in for Toronto once they start playing star teams. Like, look at teams like Philadelphia, Milwaukee, even Boston. Their stars are coming through. Milwaukee's had some struggles, but
early on, but they
fuck, man, like, they still got Giannis.
And let's just check in with Boston for a sec.
He's been balling out.
Okay, Gordon Hayward. I'm not sure
39 points.
How much of it is related to, but I think some of it is related to Kyrie's departure. Not because it's all Kyrie's fault, but I think their styles were so opposite, even though they're two guys who want to play together. Yeah. Kyrie's very quick and he's a ball stopper. Gordon Hayward does not have the speed. And my barber actually this morning made a great point that he seems more comfortable with the pace of play that Boston is using this year with Kemba than compared to Kyrie. And we all know the 39 points the other night, over 20 again last night. Going back to the Raptors, the only way I think they excel past that 4 seed or have a chance to is if a guy like OG Anunoby shows that he can do more than just show up for 12 minutes a night and get 12 points.
I'm sorry, what happened to our other forwards? Hollis Jefferson, Stanley Johnson.
I was never excited about those guys. They're role players.
I wasn't excited either, but I kept hearing about their defense and stuff.
Stanley Johnson was the draft pick, no?
Huh? No. Stanley Johnson was, what's it called? Picked up. He's been playing in the league for some time. Again, I don't even see these guys on the court. I feel like there's no trust.
No.
And they can't play with the system. So, and again, we have a fucking center in Paul Gasol who's just way too old to be playing.
You know how many bets I've won taking him under 9.5 points?
Really? You've done bets like that?
Yep.
Damn, probably every bet.
I've won 3 of them.
Out of how many?
3.
There you go. It's gonna happen every night.
Take him against a good team. He's getting under 9.5. Bet 365. Check it out.
And we're paying that dinosaur how much? Like 25 million.
And that's why I said him taking that option last year ruined our ability to take a step towards the Eastern Conference contention. Because even if, which I don't see them doing it, but if they do go on and make a trade, what dollars are you sending back the other way?
Exactly. And like, I don't know who's making a trade for
Norman Powell would be included in any deal because he's making $12 million for a guy who shouldn't be.
Literally, yeah.
Or I think it's 10.5 with bonus. He comes 10, up to 12,
right?
Yeah, but I think his cap hit is 12.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I just don't see. And then they have to trade. They want the young talent. You're gonna trade Van Vliet. You're gonna trade OG.
Oh,
I think OG to me should be available. A lot of people were thinking, I kept hearing all summer long. Wait till OG comes back healthy for a full season. Wait till he comes back healthy. And this is the OG I saw in his rookie year. Flashes of brilliance, spins to the basket, can hit some threes. But as I said, he does it for 12 minutes a night, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, there's a lot more season to watch, so could improve, could get better.
Yeah.
It's what? How many games into the season are they? 7?
Yeah.
You know, like it's still he's probably shaking off some rust, bro. He didn't play all season.
Quickly, do you think Do you think they should go out and try and make a trade for a small forward, or do you think they should just stay the course and wait until 2021 when Giannis and that rest of the free agent class becomes available?
It depends where they want to be at. You know, where they want to be at this season. Because with the team you have now, you're not contending for Eastern Conference Finals.
No, Milwaukee, Philly, Boston, they'll all steamroll
exactly.
the playoffs.
So
you win the first round.
If you're okay with not doing much this by the end of the season, then sure, wait till Giannis and those guys are open. But if you want to make a big move, you gotta find a small forward.
Yeah.
You need to, I'm sorry, but like, or at least you need some star power too, I feel.
Yeah.
Because Siakam, he can give you 25 points. Larry can give you 20 points. Like, where are these? You know, some teams are scoring 130 now, 140 points now in games.
Yeah.
Where are these points going to be coming from? You can't, like, Gasol's not going to give you more than 10. And if he does, it's going to be 11, 12 points. Serge Ibaka, same, like, I just feel like we don't have the amount of talent that we need.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to contend in the East.
The main reason why I don't see them making that deal is because Marc Gasol is going to make the dollars work. If you're getting anywhere near an all-star caliber player, Marc Gasol is going to have to go back the other way or in a 3-team deal.
Yeah.
In order to move Marc Gasol's contract to anybody, you're probably going to have to give up a first-round pick. Maybe a second, but I think you'd probably have to give up a first-round pick to make them eat that salary for this season. Unless you're getting a guy from a totally non-contending team. All right? Maybe a Bradley Beal or something like that. Washington is in the gutter.
We've been wanting Beal for a while.
I'm just using as an example. Not saying him, but a player in that type of situation where they would maybe say, okay, give us a second-round pick because we don't care taking Gasol because he's only got 1 year left. It's just this year. We're taking a salary. It's not like it's a long-term 4-year deal or like with DeMauri Carroll when we gave him a 5-year contract not to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Is there any small forwards that you're looking at, though?
Andrew Wiggins.
Possibly.
Guy keeps
How much? Okay, put Andrew Wiggins on that team. Get rid of maybe Gasol, OG, maybe Powell. I don't know who you'd have to trade for him, but like, how much better does he actually make Toronto? You believe?
I think.
Did they contend in the East?
Yes, I think they contend. I wouldn't pick them to win, but I think, and then you have another step in a block.
It's tough,
but
man.
the problem why they're not going to do that deal is because the Raptors believe they have a shot at Giannis in 2021. They both play small forward last time I checked.
That'd be crazy, bro. John, all this talk about how no star wants to come to Toronto. If
no
Giannis,
American star.
Yeah, that's true. But if what's it called? We end up picking up Giannis. We just had the two biggest stars. We had Kawhi Leonard, and now we have Giannis. That'd be insane. That'll bring a lot of excitement back to the city. And I'm gonna say this countless times. There's so much love in Toronto that I still don't understand why they wouldn't want to come. You see what happens once you come to Toronto and you start playing to your that's hilarious. But once you start playing at that level, bro, you're playing for Canada at that point. You're playing for the whole country. You're not just playing for Toronto.
And when they feel that pride, they get immersed in it.
And plus, Toronto has a big Greek community influence. So,
well, we just talked about being immersed in the nation while you're here, and another gentleman, you might know him, Kawhi Leonard. After feeling that love and compassion, still opted to go home. Now he's in some trouble. And his new NBA team is in some trouble with the league.
You still happy, Kawhi?
With the nation.
Hope not.
With basketball fans around the world. So, if you're unaware, somehow you're hiding under a rock. Kawhi Leonard did not play the first of a back-to-back against Milwaukee. Played last night against Portland. Now, the Clippers had originally come on and said load management. He's not healthy enough to play back-to-backs. NBA inquired with the team, and the Clippers told him that he has a left knee patella injury, and that's why he can't play back-to-backs at this time. Doc Rivers in an interview before the Portland game says, Kawhi is feeling great right now. NBA goes, well, that's a mind-boggler because you told us he's got an injury and can't play back-to-backs, but your head coach is saying that he's feeling great. That doesn't make sense. Here's your $50,000 fine. Now Kawhi Leonard comes out after the game and is unhappy that the NBA shared his injury details. He said, I don't read the media anyways, so it's not that big of a deal, but he doesn't understand why they would do that.
Here's my thing. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
You've been injured. You've had injuries before.
I have an injury right now.
Okay, there you go.
Left knee as well.
Do you feel the same every day?
No.
So, let's say today you feel like shit. Hurts a lot. Pain. Can't really do much. Tomorrow you wake up, I actually feel good. You know, I got some movement here. You know what? Maybe I can push it. That's where I feel like Kawhi's at. Listen to he knows what he's doing, bro. He just won a championship with the Toronto Raptors, following the same system. Yeah, I understand what you're gonna go with the whole league and television numbers and all that stuff. Like, no, Clippers brought this guy on to bring them hopefully a championship one day. You listen to him. We've seen this about Kawhi almost his whole career. When he was in San Antonio, they stopped listening to him.
Part of the story.
Huh? What's the part that you're trying to get at?
Okay, I'll get to the TV stuff and why this is a big problem for the league. But coming into the season, and I just watched a lot of reporters talking about this, Kawhi said, I feel extremely better coming into this season to this point last year after that situation with San Antonio Spurs coming to Toronto. And he said it would not be the same load management program this year as was last year. And that's obviously been a load of crap because it's been exactly the same as last year, if not worse. He's missed 2 prime-time games.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
But then why the NBA fined him is because they're inconsistent and with their messaging and what they're doing. Their actions and their words are not matching up. And that's why fans and the NBA are upset. Now we'll get to the point where this is an epidemic problem for the National Basketball Association. In 2016, as we talked about before this episode started, LeBron James was taking a few games off after making 6 straight NBA Finals. And people were chewing this guy and spitting him out. But and then the next season he went to play 82 straight. Hold on. Okay?
Yeah.
So, what if LeBron decided this year, you know what, I'm going to coast a bit.
Yeah.
When he did coast, they've lost 2 games this year. Okay? Or I'm going to load management, take some games off. Anthony Davis does that. Paul George does it when he comes back. Giannis does it. James Harden does it. Russell Westbrook does it.
Mm-hmm.
The list can go on. What happens is the $24 billion TV deal the NBA got in 2014 when it's up for renewal in 2 years, and the $1.5 billion deal they got from China, those numbers are going to start going down because TV networks are not going to be paying the same dollars for primetime games, nationally televised games, when the stars are not playing. That's why, okay, you watched Milwaukee versus LA.
Yeah.
I did not because I'm like, might be a close game, but ultimately I know the result. Milwaukee is going to win.
Here's the mess up,
So when the TV money goes down, the NBA salary cap, which has been rising $7 million a year for the last decade, it seems, is no longer going to rise. It might even start going down. And then when the players
that's a stretch. They'll start going down.
All right, it's not going to be going up.
Okay.
And then when players' renewal of contracts start making the same money, then they're going to start complaining and crying, and it's going to be all their fault. This is where the NBA is going down a slippery slope with not controlling Kawhi Leonard's situation. And they don't have to say you have to play. They just have to say to the Clippers, you have to figure out what's going on and have your story straight so that this doesn't start spreading around the NBA.
Okay, here's my mess up with when we discuss. I watched the Milwaukee versus Clippers game. You chose not to because you said Kawhi wasn't playing.
Yeah, I knew what the result was going to be, and I was right.
How right were you? You assumed it would be a blowout.
No, but I knew Milwaukee was going to win. LA's defense kept it close.
Though, when you do that, you allow for new talent and new stars to be born, bro. When Kawhi every game is dropping you 30 points, it takes us 30 points away from the other players. You know what ended up happening in that Bucks game?
Those players can't score 30 points.
The game was within 2-4 points. You know what ended up happening in that game? Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams both had 34 points each. 34 points each. That's a rise of a star, bro. I'm sorry. If you can do that a few times in the season,
two problems
big on buddy. You, bro.
Okay. One, you don't even believe what you just said.
What?
New stars will be born.
I do. You know I'm big on Montrezl Harrell.
Exactly. So number 2, we know what Lou Williams can do, especially here in Toronto, and because we both are fans of Lou Williams. And number 2, how many times have we talked about how good Montrezl Harrell could be?
And allow him to be great. Allow him to be great, bro. You take 30 points off.
So take off a game that's not nationally televised. Or at least get your team stories straight.
You want a championship team? You gotta have a championship team that without the star they can still beat the top team. That's exactly what they showed. They lost by what? Within 2-4 points? They kept it that close of a game without Kawhi Leonard playing. So what happens when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George come in? If you're a Clippers fan, you should be so happy right now. I'm sorry.
I don't think you should be.
After watching that game, you should be really happy. I think
you should be nervous about the fact that it's been reported by The Athletic that the left patella injury developed because in the conference finals he was overcompensating on his left knee for his right quad injury. The right quad injury is what happened in San Antonio, and if that was still lingering into last playoffs after he missed a year and then caused a patella injury, and now that patella injury was in the Eastern Conference Finals and is still a problem. Now that's a chronic injury, so I'm not going to be excited.
But you did say, and Kawhi Leonard came into the season saying he feels great, right?
Yeah, so that's my problem.
Better than he did last year. But you know why he felt like that? Because last year he's coming off being missing basketball for a whole year.
You should feel fresh. Look at LeBron James.
You don't feel fresh. You feel a little rusty. Rust is a thing in every sport.
But I'm saying body-wise, he was talking about. He says he feels healthier than. He didn't say about playing-wise. He was talking healthier.
I'm sure.
And number two, I never said you can't miss games. I just said the LA Clippers do not know how to manage the situation, and it's become a problem that could get worse. As the Raptors did. And I think Kawhi Leonard, there's no way you're telling me this guy in his head is not thinking, man, I didn't do none of this shit last year.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. What's it called? I read so I seen it posted by SportsCenter, the whole Kawhi Leonard thing, and then I saw what's it called, one of the comments, and this guy was saying, oh, when he was playing in Toronto, what's it called? No one even talked about this. The media didn't care. Why'd you leave us then, bro? You want to stay out of the media? You want to stay out of all this drama, all this stuff outside of actually just playing basketball? You went to the biggest problem, LA. All of your business is out there now.
Just because you go to the Clippers, not the Lakers, doesn't mean the media is not going to be on you.
Exactly. And not even that, 7 games into the season, you're already having this going on. I understand he wants to go play for his home team.
There's a beauty.
But I felt Toronto is the best fit.
There's a beauty in flying under the radar.
Especially if you're Kawhi Leonard, a guy who does not like to be in the media, does not like his face out there a lot.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the team that Kawhi Leonard led Raptors dethroned in the NBA Finals last year, who right now feel like the sky is falling on top of them.
But
the Golden State
before
Warriors,
the season started, said, "Oh, we're fine. We're still the top team."
Listen, and I've told you this time and time again, but it's like beating a drum. It's like when I talk, my words go in one of your ears and out the other.
Yeah.
They thought Klay Thompson was going to be ready come February. They did not think Steph was going to deal with this.
You had the unanimous MVP on your team. You should think this without the whole team.
Listen,
if you just have Curry on the team, what's it called, playing ball, you should
if
be
they
fine.
did just have Curry, they'd be a lot better than the situation they were now.
I don't believe they would.
Anyways,
they would be, but I still feel like they're a shit team.
Listen, 2.5 hours ago, I was preparing for this episode, and I was like, here's all the reasons why Warriors are going to be fine. They're still going to make the playoffs. They go 500, then they have this record when Steph comes back. Last year, the 8th seed had this record.
Yeah.
And then less than half hour before we start recording, it comes out, and Steph Curry's probably missing the whole season. What should the Warriors do with that news and the rest of their season now?
So who do you have playing? So you have D'Angelo Russell. If you want to keep him on,
and Draymond Green.
If you want to keep D'Angelo Russell as a solid player, he when he was on Brooklyn, they were planning on building around him. Great player to build around. But I feel like the Warriors if they want to keep him, they have to commit to we're rebuilding at this point. Because if you think you're still going to be making the playoffs and be an impact in the West, then I don't know. Start looking for some trades. Because at this point, with just Russell and Draymond, your team's shit. Maybe 8th spot. I don't know.
You know what's gonna happen? You know what they're gonna start doing?
What?
Steve Kerr already hinted at it, and it's the Kawhi effect. He said when those guys went down, we're not gonna run Draymond into the ground. Draymond's now gonna be on load management. D'Angelo won't.
Draymond does not want to play. I'm telling you.
Draymond is gonna be on load management. They're gonna miss the playoffs. They're gonna get a top pick. They're gonna trade D'Angelo Russell come trade deadline or off season.
Yeah.
They're gonna retool, and next season they're gonna be badasses.
Will they? This is.
Healthy Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. That is the best shooting combo of all time. Those are 2 of the 3 best shooters of all time.
Okay.
And people forget even when Steph's shooting is not working, he is top 2 in point guards finishing at the rim.
Okay.
Behind only Kyrie Irving.
Before this injury happened to Curry,
playmakers.
Where did you have Warriors sitting?
Even with Klay Thompson missing
from the way
season?
Yeah, missing the season. From the way they were playing.
I had them making the playoffs anywhere between 6 and 8 seed.
This is where I don't feel like why guys like Russell Westbrook. Remember he kept doing it? He doesn't get credit. Remember when Russell Westbrook had no one on his team and he'd make 6 or 7 took he took them to 6 consistently. Curry was struggling to do that, and he's supposed to be
When was Curry struggling
MVP,
to do that,
bro?
When was Curry struggling?
The beginning of the season.
2 games
slapped up.
2 games. 3.
They were getting slapped up though.
And then they won the 3rd game, and then he got
against
injured.
who?
I forgot.
It was a shit team, though. From what I remember, it was a shit team.
I don't think so, but
is what I'm saying. It's hard to do.
Listen,
have the team on your back, and you have to do everything.
See, I like that you brought that up, because what I was looking forward to this season is seeing what obviously Russ did in OKC.
Yeah.
LeBron did in Cleveland. Yeah. Time and time again.
Okay. 9 years straight.
Pretty much. But seeing one of the greatest players alive.
Yeah.
Ball out, do everything on his own.
Exactly.
And try and will a team to a positive outcome.
This is what I want to see.
And we were robbed of watching that. I want to see peak Steph that we saw for glimpses last year when Kevin Durant was injured. And I said I love watching the Warriors again. I want to go back to watching old Steph with no KD. Being able to do what he wants, not having to cater his play towards Kevin Durant. And we were robbed of it. Robbed of it.
I'm going to look this up
right
now.
It's a disappointment.
I was always under the thought of he can't do that. So I wanted him to prove me wrong this season.
Listen,
I wanted him to prove me wrong.
Okay, even though Klay Thompson
and now Draymond, I don't have that.
Explain to me one thing.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm mad too because I'm robbed of being able to be proven wrong now.
When the Warriors won their first championship, who was the best player on that team?
Their first championship? I'm kidding. Curry, yeah.
Over the last few years, there's drastic difference in the splits and the numbers between Draymond Green and Klay Thompson when Steph's on the floor and when he's not. He was the engine of that team. He's shown you what he can do. For you to say, oh, you had to have done this year, man, he made Draymond Green. Draymond Green is nothing without Steph Curry.
You know what made trade?
I would love for Draymond Green to get traded and see what he does. He has shown even the last 2 years with Steph Curry, he sucks.
Bro, you know what made Draymond Green?
And Klay Thompson.
Bro, his hustle.
Okay, sure. But he's the workhorse guy. Klay Thompson, we've talked about time and time again. He got a little bit better the last couple of years, but he can't create his own shot off the dribble. Can't drive to the net. All of his baskets are catch and shoots, and most of them are off a feed from Steph.
Okay, so I'm looking right now at their schedule.
Tell me through 3 games what happened at it, because this means so much.
The first game they lose by.
Lakers lost against the Clippers, right? So I guess they had no chance the rest this year.
Give me a second. Okay, so first game they lose to Clippers by 20. Understandable, right? Yeah. Top team as well.
All right.
Their second game they play the Oklahoma City Thunder and they get slapped up by 30 points. 30 points. You tell me the unanimous MVP allowed a rookie team basically with no one on it besides Chris Paul to beat them by 30. Where's your 30, Steph? Keep a 30 on me like I'm Steph Curry. Where'd that go?
That's a good reference.
Exactly. And then the next game, the one game that they win with Curry, Pelicans.
Good team. 2 points. 2 points off that.
What?
Number 1, that's a trap game because you think you're gonna steamroll a bunch of rookies. Okay. And number 2,
but you don't allow the rookies to steamroll you.
No, that's what I just said. Yeah, but that's what I said. It's a trap game.
Okay.
Number 2, you ever heard of a guy named Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? What? From the ends. That guy been balling out this year, bro. Averaging like 22 or 24.
He asked for his team to even be competing against these other teams.
I think Clippers, I mean, they're not going to regret it. They got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but that's a guy that when Kawhi and PG leave in 2 years, they're going to miss Shai Gilgeous-Alexander when he's balling out for OKC.
We'll see. Time will tell. But, of course, we both agree we were robbed of seeing either Curry fall or rise up to the occasion.
And I think that would have cemented his legacy.
It would have.
Or either just shown you
this is where he is. I was kind of like iffy on what Jordan said about Curry.
Jordan is okay. You'd say what you want. I tell you why Jordan is dumb on that.
No. I agree. When I read that, I was like, okay, chill, bro. But now he's kind of robbed of some proving him wrong, basically.
But tell me any other guy's 3-time champion, 2-time MVP, first unanimous MVP. Steph Curry could retire today and he'd be a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
Bro, there's people that haven't won a championship that are in the Hall of Fame.
Steve Nash had 2 MVPs, never made a finals, and in the Hall of Fame.
Allen Iverson.
Yeah, 1-time MVP.
Hey,
he hasn't done as much as Steph.
Yeah,
listen, we're talking about MJ evaluating talent. Sorry, have you seen Charlotte since he's owned the team?
Hey, he was big on Kemba. Yeah, and Kemba even said he has high praise for Jordan because Jordan helped him out a lot.
Yeah, okay. Jordan found one good player in how many years has he owned Charlotte now? 8-9 years? Bro, Michael Jordan is a great talent, but he's not a good
Charlotte, man.
No. Draft, man. But he's not. Michael Jordan does not know how to evaluate talent, and that's what happens to greatest players. Wayne Gretzky, greatest player of all time.
It's true.
He's coaching the Phoenix Coyotes. He had no idea what was going on.
Because there's a little bit of bias always with them. I agree.
They don't know how. They're just innately great. They don't know how to bestow that upon other people.
It plays like that in every sport, man. Even in sport like boxing and stuff. The best trainers were always bad fighters. You know?
Yeah, they
never
because they have to work harder and train harder and study harder. The systems
and they know how to value even a little bit of talent. You know?
Yeah,
and how to build on
break
it.
that out.
Exactly.
That's why I'm telling you, I could coach any sport and I'd be in the pros. Give me this Maple
Do it
Leafs
then,
team,
bro. Our podcast would be way bigger.
Give me this Toronto Maple Leafs team. I'm telling you, they'd be first in the damn East. All right.
You think you can do better than Babcock?
100%. 100%. I don't even actually hate Mike Babcock like a lot of people do, like my boy Brett does. Brett and Dave, you've met him. That guy last night was sounding off on Mike Babcock. My God, I had to calm him down. He's gonna have a hemorrhage. All right. The season is young.
Yes, sir.
The favorite for Rookie of the Year coming into the year has not even stepped on the NBA court in the regular season. But still, we're going to give our picks for the very, very, very early NBA Rookie of the Year.
That's what I was going to say. Our picks only matter until Zion comes back.
Zion's not winning Rookie of the Year, I can tell you that much. You miss 2 months, you take yourself out of the running. You're out of the running.
As like, in terms of what?
Rookie of the Year. You can't win Rookie of the Year missing 2 months.
Why not? If you ball out like crazy?
You can't.
If he comes in, keeps New Orleans.
If he averages 25 a game, sure.
And he keeps them in like at a playoff spot.
I would bet my bank account that he doesn't win Rookie of the Year.
Well,
he might not even be on the ballot.
You're crazy, bro. Moss.
Top 3?
Moss.
You see what Don and Tyler, bro? You see what Don and Tyler Hero are doing?
I understand, but they ain't Zion.
Okay, I've never been as big on Zion as the vast majority of people. I think there's holes in his game, and it's gonna show in the NBA.
I wasn't for a while. I did some studying, watched a few of his plays.
Few. Oh shit.
That's
the most research you've ever done. So,
yeah, bro. And this guy, bro. If he plays like he used to, like he played in college,
you can only run and jump so much.
Can you?
What happened to Giannis in the playoffs?
Who was Rookie of the Year? Blake Griffin?
Yeah, that's because
off just running and jumping.
He played the whole season though.
Well, we'll see. Bro,
I'm telling you,
if he comes back and makes a big impact,
he's gonna be slow coming back. Believe me, I'm dealing with a meniscus injury. This guy is not gonna come back 112% and be fine.
It's that lion in him.
Yeah, but you tell me he's not gonna be nervous about how's my knee gonna be.
My throne's been played around just like LeBron came into this.
Okay, so why was Kawhi slow coming back last year then? And that's a guy who's been in the league how long and is way better than Zion Williamson. And he had to have faith that his quad was going to hold up. It's like Zion is going to have faith and find the confidence that his knee is going to hold up.
Going on though. Coming into last season, he moved to another country, met a whole bunch of new players.
But he was rusty.
Head coach.
You think Zion's not going to be rusty?
Zion hasn't played an NBA game yet. Kawhi Leonard was playing with San Antonio for all these years and now has to move to another country. It's a big difference.
You're acting like he moved to Pakistan.
Bro, the fire of the young is real.
You're acting like he moved across the world.
No, but that's how they always talk about it.
He moved like 100 miles north and then
across.
Bro,
trust me, we know this. But the NBA, when they talk, he goes to like Stephen A. Smith. He went to a whole different country.
Did you see DeMar DeRozan? I didn't watch the thing. DeMar DeRozan on the shop. Getting drafted and having to go to a whole other country was the greatest thing for my career. Bro, relax. I
don't love him. Hey, he loves us so much, bro. You can't hate on the guy.
Did you know? He said he didn't even have a passport when he got drafted by the Raptors. He had to go that next day and get a passport and then fly to Toronto.
I believe it.
He said he never left like Compton,
LA. Say, yeah, he probably never even thought about leaving the country. Yeah.
All right.
I believe that.
Give me your pick.
Let's go. Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year for me is Mr. Ja Morant. Plain and simple here. Stats-wise, his team's won. I know who you're going to pick. So his team's won more games than who you're picking.
Cool.
Makes a huge impact on the court. Watch, because I've been just, I guess, somehow stumbled upon watching all these Grizzly games.
How? They're not even on TV.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Okay,
in the hidden realms.
I'm just not looking for Grizzlies games.
They're there.
In the dark alleys of TV.
I think it's just by coincidence. Every time I start watching on NBA TV a game, it just says Memphis is playing. This guy looks like a seasoned NBA player. I
disagree, but all right.
This early on.
A seasoned NBA player is not trying that dunk he tried that almost broke his damn leg and head.
Bro, the durability of being young, man. If that was any other player, your knee's exploding at that moment. He stopped there for like, oh, I wish we should play it, man.
We might throw
That's
that clip
scary.
in.
I was showing it to Daniel and them. They couldn't even watch it because they thought him stopping like that for a second. They thought I was just gonna blow out, but he just.
My knees used to be able to handle that.
Same here, bro.
I once jumped over.
That's why
a goalie.
you and me watching that video is a whole different story.
I once jumped over a goalie and a player in ball hockey, landed so whack, stayed on balance on my one knee, and then the guy who had jumped over looks at me and goes, "Man, it kills to be young, eh?" He's like, my knee would be in the freaking corner.
Exactly. Any old man watching.
Look at me 2 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
Torn meniscus, sprained MCL, 8-week recovery. It's now been 13 and I still got pain.
Never gonna stop, bro. Remember, I had to deal with that for like years.
You kept telling me it's gonna be long, and I was like, no, it's all mental. I'll be back.
You think it's mental?
All right,
but
yeah. Anything else on Morant?
Bro, stats: 20 points a game, 5 assists a game. He's shooting at 52%. 52%, bro. I don't see how you can have anyone above him.
Okay.
At the current state.
Okay, so
the rookies.
You just got a phone call too, and you're ripping me. I just saw the phone call on there.
Yeah, but my phone's on silent, so there's no vibration.
Yeah, but mine was vibrate.
Yeah, but
what if it was something important? Like, what if I got,
You're too late, bro.
What if I got like a job offer or something?
A job offer. You're gonna answer in the middle of the show?
Yeah.
TSN's calling or Sportsnet?
Listen, I recently interviewed for the Score. I didn't get it, but if they had offered me a job, I would have answered them.
Sportsnet.
You thought I interviewed at Sportsnet?
Yeah, for a second. Because that guy that... what's it called? My girlfriend's one of her friends. He works at Sportsnet. So I always think Sportsnet.
I don't know why you haven't hooked me up with this guy yet, but...
As I don't even know him that well.
As I said...
I've talked to him about you, but...
As I said earlier, you're one friend letting down another friend.
Man wants Red Bull with sugar, bro.
No, it's not with... It's just a normal Red Bull.
Sugar-free, bro.
This is the only way to drink it. All right. Jean Morant's been balling out undoubtedly, of course, right?
Yes, sir.
You said it, 20.4 points per game. He's shooting 52%. He's actually shooting 50 from 3, but don't get that confused. He's only made 6 3-pointers. He doesn't shoot 3s. It's not his game.
It's not his thing.
Okay, but I believe over the course of 82 games, RJ Barrett is going to get better and better as the weeks and months go on. He's averaging right now 17.9 and 6 rebounds, but only on 42% shooting. Isn't the best. But where I see the most room for growth is the quality of shots and that he takes and the drives. He plays a different style than Morant, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to learn how to go through the contact and when to kick it out, which will help his shooting percentage. He's not going to be making the dumb plays that he is right now. But he's also forced to take more bad shots playing for the damn Knicks, who are absolutely garbage.
How much better is Memphis?
They're better. He's got Valanciunas at least. Jeez. And when you come into the league...
Oh, come on.
And is the team's undoubted number one scoring option.
Yeah.
There's obviously more pressure and more to learn. He got better and better at Duke as the year went on.
Yeah.
And I think by the end of this season, he'll average around 20 on 50% shooting. And because of the amount of wins that he's going to eventually carry that team to, they're going to be single-handedly because of RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
And everybody talks about he's left-handed, likes to go to the left. I've watched actually a lot of Knicks games. Yeah, I wish I could tilt the camera. Barrett jersey up on the wall because of him.
It's up there.
And his right hand's coming around. He's changed his shooting form a little bit coming into the season.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I think he's going to grow throughout the year and get used to 82 games. He's a bigger body. I think he's going to handle the grind of going from 35 games to 82 games better than a small guy like Jean Morant. And he's my pick.
Guy.
Not because of what he's doing right now. I like what he's doing right now. But I think, and the skinnier, not as thick, not well
he's
built.
Not as heavy, yeah.
He doesn't have the muscle mass on him yet. So he's going to feel that wear and tear a lot more.
Yeah.
I think Barrett has a solid foundation right now. And he's got that dog. You talk about Lion and Zion? Barrett's got that same thing, man. He's a winner. He doesn't like losing. This is driving him crazy playing for the Knicks and losing these games.
Much every single game.
And they've won 2 games and he's been pretty good in them. Okay, sorry, 1.
1 game. You know who's won 2 games? Memphis.
Congrats.
Here's my thing. Are we talking about who's the rookie of the year as of now? Currently? From the 7 games that they've played? I know it's a little bit, but I'm just saying.
Okay, sure. If the end of the season was right now,
yeah. Who's winning rookie of the year?
It's Jean Morant through 7 games.
That's what
I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Based off what I've seen in 7 games, what Jean Morant is doing right now, that's his ceiling. And I'm not even sure if he's gonna make.
That's a ceiling
for this season, not his career. He's not gonna go start averaging 25 and 10.
How do you know?
I'll bet you whatever you want. Listen, but Barrett's got a solid foundation, and I think can up it towards the level of what Morant's doing now. And he's got a much worse team. So if he starts carrying that team to wins, it's much more worthy and notable than Ja doing it for Memphis. And Ja actually has more control over the game, being the point guard. Barrett's got to have somebody give him the ball. That isn't always easy for the Knicks to get him the ball.
Barrett's playing in the Eastern Conference. Ja Morant to even get close to getting a playoff position.
You're talking like this is the East of friggin' 2014.
It's still not the best East. Teams from 7, like the 7 and 8 seed. Who would that be?
Last year, Miami.
No, I'm saying this
Brooklyn.
year. No, I'm saying this year. Who could you?
It's still too early. It's still too early, bruh.
No, but I'm just saying from how the season's playing out, like the bottom tier of the
it's
East
probably gonna
is
be
trash.
Like, talking about Indiana, who was 4th seed last year.
But I'm saying the bottom.
Victor Oladipo's gonna come back. And Detroit, they got Blake Griffin.
Of the East is shit.
I don't know about that.
You can play through those. You can win games against.
See, here's the thing.
Charlotte.
You think that, but okay, Charlotte, they're decent squad. They're not a cakewalk. Indiana's not a cakewalk. Neither is the Pistons. The Hawks, with Trae Young, listen, they're balling out. Brooklyn, 6th seed last year. Now they got Kyrie Irving. Chicago is a young team that's growing. Washington obviously is bodied. Cleveland, they're Cleveland.
Cleveland's Cleveland.
With no LeBron, they're never gonna be nowhere.
Yeah.
Then you got Orlando and New York. Orlando's still gonna probably improve. They were in the playoffs last year.
But I'm saying, if either one,
Miami got better.
Let's say, what's it called? Barrett makes 8th spot. Ja Morant makes 8th spot. Which one is more impressive to you?
Barrett, because Knicks are a much worse team.
But okay, let me see the bottom tier. This is the bottom of the West.
Okay, you just got finished ripping apart the Warriors, so don't even tell me that they're a good team.
No, I'm not even gonna name them. Minnesota. You got star power there.
They're
good
ninth.
team.
They're ninth. That's not the bottom.
No, but I'm going just anything below 8.
Okay.
You got Trailblazers.
Well, Portland's underperforming.
Yeah. So Pelicans. Still a good team, even though who knows if they'll make playoffs, be a good depending team. On how Zion looks. Thunder. You were just talking about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay, is the West better than the East? Sure, but it's not the discrepancy that it used to be.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be more impressive to me to see Ja Morant excel in the West.
If anything, it's a draw because of how much worse the Knicks are.
Oh my God, bro! But neither team is a good team. Listen, take both rookies off. Both teams are sitting at the bottom of their conference.
Memphis is winning that game.
Huh?
Memphis is winning that game.
Them playing each other? Yeah. Maybe, but if the refs put it towards one way or not.
Neither of them are making the 8 seed, so that's a dumb question posed anyways.
No, but I'm just saying if they both were to make it, which one would you be more impressed by?
RJ Barrett. Because he will have figured out how to average 22 at least.
Ja Morant's already averaging close to that.
Close. And I said that's a ceiling for this year. I don't think he's going to maintain this pace.
Okay, because I think Barrett's ceiling is 17 points.
You have no facts to prove that.
But what's the proof of Ja Morant that's his ceiling? Why?
Because he's shooting the lights out right now, and not many rookies can do that through the whole season.
He's
and I just said
in his first 7 NBA games.
And I said he's going to feel the wear and tear. And this is pure adrenaline. Teams haven't figured out how to play defense against him yet either.
Okay, so then why isn't RG doing the same thing if people haven't been able to figure him out either yet?
Because they're trying to score in totally different ways. Ja as a point guard, you have a totally different look and mindset going into a game than a small forward shooting guard, which is Barrett's playing. And Barrett, you got to remember, which is, you cannot think this is a small point. Ja gets the ball in his hand every single play inbounded. And he gets to do what he wants. So RJ's got to rely on somebody to get him the ball first before the Knicks turn it over. Or Vince Dunn takes a dumb shot.
Fair enough. You got me there.
All right.
You got me on that one, yeah.
I thought not at that point you could disagree with.
That's just unfortunate circumstance of their position.
All right. NBA has been fun.
Yes, sir.
But the NFL, man.
For me, it's been sad.
You've kind of tapered off because your guy Cam Newton is crying.
Honestly, that's been a big part of it.
Yeah, but my Giants are no good, but that's what I come to expect. The NFL this year has been amazing. What? Huh?
You say crying?
Cam Newton's crying, man. I assume he's crying at home right now.
Yeah, but it's out of his control. He's injured.
Yeah, that's why he's crying.
Okay.
I wasn't taking a shot at the guy. I'm saying it's sad for him.
So, here's my thing. I want to hear what you have to say first because I'm interested.
All right.
What do you think Carolina at least should do with Cam Newton, and where do you think Cam Newton's future lies?
See, here's the thing. You want me to give you the short-term outlook of this injury or long-term first?
Just give me the short look.
All right, short term, to me, it means the Panthers are going to squander a really good defense in terms of they give their team a chance to win week in, week out.
Yep.
And Cam Newton hasn't always had that. So you squander that opportunity, and you're also squandering an MVP caliber season by Christian McCaffrey. All right,
Crazy,
to me, after Russell Wilson, he's second in MVP contention right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're squandering the opportunity where you really could have gone on a run, and the rest of your division, Atlanta has fallen off the face of the earth. Matt Ryan is injured as well.
Yep.
So you squander an opportunity to make a run in the playoffs. That sucks. Long term, which ties into their short term, the problem is because their defense and Christian McCaffrey, they're playing too well. They're 5-3 with 8 games left, right? They play the Falcons twice, the Colts, who are a decent team, not great, that's a winnable game, and the Redskins. Okay? So the Panthers are going to end up at least 8-8 or 9-7, and which means with the draft, by the time they have their pick, because they're not going to have that high of a pick, because they're going to be 500 or better, all the elite QBs are going to be gone. So it means another year of running back with Cam Newton. If they fall off the face of the earth, which they could, then I think if you can get Tyler Hero, one of those 3 elite QBs in the top 10, Cam Newton's days in Carolina will be over. But I don't see Carolina falling off because of Christian McCaffrey. Kyle Allen is holding his own. And
so you think
Cam will be back next year. And they'll see. I hope he's healthy.
Okay, so I guess
but
we're
I think he's sticking around, man.
You
think you know what I'm going to say? You have no idea.
That threw me off.
I throw facts at you, bro. You just throw dumb opinions.
I agree with you, man. I feel like if anything, if I'm Cam Newton, I know it's sad. You're missing the scene. This gives you something to be excited about. At least now you have this time to rest. Coming into next season, bro, you better be, not even you will be, you better be a fresh player. You better be fully healthy now, finally, as you've been.
What do you mean? You don't think he's gonna be rusty? We're just talking about on the basketball side. You don't think he's gonna be rusty?
No, he'll be rusty for sure. But I'm just saying, his whole career has been just riddled with injuries constantly, and now you finally have the time to chill because Carolina's fine. Like him sitting out for the rest of the season, Carolina's not. They're still fighting for a wild card, you know. And like you saw a guy in Christian McCaffrey just balling out like crazy. So you have something to be excited for, you know. Rest, take your time. What does he have? The Liz Frank injury on his foot.
Yeah, it's a foot injury.
No, but this explains a lot to me as to why his running was just nowhere to be found in the first 3 games of the season, especially in that 1 yard goal line. What's it called?
See,
when they give it to McCaffrey and he tries. My
issue
around.
with him is his shoulder, and I never thought he's an elite passer.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of people talking in recent weeks before that. It was announced that he's going to be out for the season, and people were talking about trading him.
Yeah,
and a lot of people I saw online, reporters were saying,
man.
"Listen, if you ask Cam Newton to do what Allen is doing right now, Cam will be fine." What they're asking of Kyle Allen is what they're asking Cam Newton to do in the first 3 games of the season, and he was incapable of doing that.
Of course.
Now, a lot of that could be credit to his shoulder, but that was surgically repaired. So to me, and he kept saying my shoulder's not an issue. It was obviously the foot. So he wasn't being asked to run. He couldn't make the passes.
Yeah.
He said his shoulder was fine. If his shoulder was fine, then I'm not too confident in him having a bounce back here next year. But it could be that his shoulder still wasn't 100%, but he's not going to tell the media that. In which case, hey, a year off could do wonders for this guy's body.
Exactly.
But I said this is going to be the do or die year for Cam and Carolina. It's either you ride with him or you trade him after the season.
Yeah.
Because of injuries, it's now shifted to next year. But you give this guy one last chance to figure it out, stay healthy, and when you're on the field, perform.
He's been my favorite athlete for years, but I'm in agreement with you. Let him rest. If he comes next season, he plays the same way that he's been playing. You got it. There's nowhere else you can go. But I feel like if you do that now, if you make a quick move like that now, you're just going to take away the excitement for players like Christian McCaffrey. He's no motivation now to play. Because his team's not going to be contending
unless,
for anything.
I'm telling you, there's elite QBs coming in this NFL draft.
Maybe.
If they fall off,
but and
they get a guy.
You want to keep your team alive. You want to keep them in there. You got to give them something to be motivated about.
Yeah.
You can't just, okay, guys, we're starting to rebuild now. McCaffrey's going to be like, okay, get me off this team, please.
Yeah. All right.
That's how it plays out.
Let's shift to our weekly rankings. We haven't done in a few weeks.
Sure.
Top 5 NFL teams in the mix.
Currently.
All right. You want to kick it off? You want me to do it?
Sir, number 1. You want to start with number 1 or 5?
Why would you start with number 1?
Have we established 4 and 5?
Yes. Well, I guess I'll start with number 5 then.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought we were in a
Jesus
disagreement about that. Okay, go. Say who your number 5 is.
All right, number 5 team in our edition of the Power Ranking. Some are going to be surprised. Some may agree. Are the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, we know that Patrick Mahomes is coming back this week. It's been announced today. They only lost one game without him, and it was against a good team in Green Bay, obviously. They beat the Vikings with just Matt Moore. That gives me some confidence in them. Problem is their defense is so bad. No running game. So even when Patty Mahomes comes back, my guy Nick Wright, who I tell you I love him on Fox FS1, you know what he said the other day? He blew my mind. He said they're not losing another game until next season. And I started laughing.
Okay.
I'm still not convinced.
It's a big stretch.
The AFC, I get, is not the best. But even if they make the Super Bowl, I don't know how that defense is going to hang with New Orleans. Or, Green Bay is going to learn from them if they play them. Whoever it may be. Seahawks. I see issues with them. And that's why we have this team ahead of them at number 4.
The Seattle I can't swear. Seattle Seahawks. I caught myself there for you watching. But yeah, again, what's his name? Russell Wilson having an MVP season.
Yeah.
His best he's ever looked. And if they continue like this, I don't see why they can't be contending for at least the NFC championships.
Yeah, their defense isn't what it used to be with the Earl Thomas type days.
If they make up with,
they're feasible.
Yeah,
and their offense just got better.
The offense makes up for it. As bad as their defense can get.
What do you think? They got a good running attack with Carson.
Exactly.
Good running attack with Russell Wilson. He doesn't run for big yardage, but his feet get defenses in their heads,
just
man.
Taking a few steps brings all these defenders forward, opening up
and then
all these
Tyler
receivers.
Lockett,
Exactly.
DK Metcalf, and I cannot wait to see Josh Gordon in that blue and green.
He's one of the best at throwing on the run. You know who? I think it was Mahomes. I think he's trying to adapt that too. He's got to learn that throwing on the run.
What do you mean, Mahomes is?
He's okay at it, but
what do you mean? I was gonna say he's maybe
Wilson.
I don't know, man. That's close.
Really?
That's close. Have you not seen every Patrick Mahomes highlight the last 2 years?
Bro,
he's always throwing on the run, sidearm, left arm.
Wilson's been
behind
doing
the
this
back
since Mahomes was in the womb, bro.
Yeah, essentially. All right.
But yeah, number 3.
They took a drop this week. They took a hit. First solidified team that they have played, in my opinion. Don't give me the crap about the Buffalo Bills. We got the New England Patriots at number 3.
You can't say don't give me no crap about Buffalo Bills.
Listen, Buffalo Bills have not played any good teams besides the Patriots. They will have one loss just to the Pats? Or do they have two now?
2 losses.
Who was the other one against? We should have done some research.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, I didn't think we'd be talking about the Buffalo Bills.
Pats defense is good. Not great. People want to anoint them one of the best defenses of all time. That's nowhere near accurate. All right?
No.
We saw Baltimore pick them apart. Lamar Jackson especially. And Lamar Jackson has only been in the league not even 2 years. And showed you can run it down their throats. And Mark Ingram had a fantastic game as well.
The last just going back to the Bills, was against Philadelphia Eagles.
Not a great team. I told you, don't give me crap about the Buffalo Bills. They're not that good of a team. They're going to fall off. Or they might make playoffs and they'll lose in the first round like they did last time in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they'll be in the wild card. They'll lose that game. All right, and that's why Tom Brady, he's still doing his thing, but he's not as elite as he was before.
Of
Come
course.
playoffs,
which
he'll
is
probably step it up.
understandable, though. Time will do that.
He's close to being in a retirement home, so
exactly. Time will do that to everyone, bro. No matter who you are.
Yeah. All right, number 2.
Moving on to number 2, we have the last undefeated team left in the NFL. The only reason they are at number 2 is we've discussed this before. Just a team based on the talent that
quality of opponent.
Exactly. It's the San Francisco 49ers. Now they're playing Seahawks. When is it? Sunday?
I believe it's a Monday nighter.
Is it Monday nighter? I thought it was Sunday nighter.
Oh, maybe it's Sunday nighter.
But yeah, they're playing Seahawks. I feel like if they have a dominant win against the Seahawks, that could bump them up to number 1, man.
If they beat the Seattle Seahawks,
yeah,
I will.
Because the only difference between them and who we have at number 1 is just based on who they've played. So this is a big game for them. So they're able to pull it off against the Seahawks and dominantly. I feel like I have them at number 1.
I was not a big Jimmy G guy early on this season. He's slowly starting to convince me otherwise.
Yes, sir.
And that's why we've moved them now in 3 weeks from number 5 to number 2.
Yep.
Jimmy G last week, although it was against Arizona, 28 of 37, 317 yards, 4 TDs, no picks. The biggest thing for me. You go back to the week before against Carolina, as I said, pretty good defense. Only 175 yards, but he managed the game, took care of the ball. Only threw 1 interception, but was 18 of 22.
You know, also I read earlier, they're number one in the amount
Every
of
defensive category.
no, not in offensively in running the ball.
Yes.
The amount of time. I feel like that takes a lot of pressure away from him.
Does.
You know, so like like of course, yeah, some of the earlier games he's 175 yards, nothing crazy, but it's preserving him. It's keeping him alive throughout this whole season, not taking any big
That's what allows
hits.
him to have games like against the
Exactly.
Panthers. We only has to go 18 of 22. He doesn't have to
Exactly.
throw the ball 35 times, a la Jared Goff, or
And especially with
69 times.
with how strong their what's it called defense is. You don't gotta ball out that crazy on offense.
Yeah.
You know,
All right,
keep it a slow game.
number
So,
one.
Give your numero uno.
To me, they're Super Bowl contender, undoubtedly. My favorite in the NFC.
Really?
I think they could take down both of the Chiefs and the Patriots in the Super Bowl if they were to meet. The Drew Brees-led New Orleans Saints.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've never been a big Saints fan. I'm not a Saints fan.
Yeah, I know. I'm
I've
surprised.
honestly never
You're
really
this
been
high
a
on
big
them.
Drew Brees guy. But
You
this
hate Drew. Oh my
but
god,
this
bro! If you
team-
guys used to hear this in grade 7, this guy used to.
Grade
Was
7.
it grade 7? Yeah. when they play, who they play? Reggie Bush was on the squad. Who they play in the Super Bowl? They won it too. Colts. Drew Brees pees on the Saints is what this guy constantly told me.
What?
Yeah, bro, you used to Drew Brees pees on the Saints. That was your saying, bro. I will never forget
In
this.
grade 7.
Huh? In grade
I don't think it
7.
was that long. I don't think I would
Grade
say
7.
that. Listen, I was probably upset. I was
Fast
I'm a
forward.
Manning family
Let's
guy.
hear
I'm an
it.
Eli guy.
Let's
so I
go.
like
Okay, we're
Peyton.
fast forwarding. Let's hear what you gotta say.
Okay, that was grade 7. So how old are you in grade 7?
You're about
12?
12 years old, yeah.
I'm 23 now. 11 years of maturity.
And Drew Brees is still peeing.
I don't think that was that long ago, and I don't think I ever said that. Anyways,
It's Glen Haven days, that's all I remember.
New Orleans Saints went undefeated 5-0 without Drew Brees. Drew Brees comes back last week. Looks like he didn't miss a beat. That
That's
defense flipped the switch with him out. What's their coach's name? Payton something. How did I forget this guy's name? Something Payton. Anyway, Sean Payton has got these guys rolling. Alvin Kamara, he was in our top 5 running backs. I think you had him
Sir.
at like number 1 or number
I had
2.
him at number 2.
Number 2 coming in the season. I had him at number 4. He's been better and better each week. Started
Exactly.
off a little bit slow.
Yeah.
And listen, if you're winning with Teddy Bridgewater 5 games, and they played some quality opponents,
Yeah.
Drew Brees, and now has a bye week this week, so to make sure his hand is good, I think they're going to steamroll everybody. And
Who are they playing after the bye week, you know?
I'll tell you in a second, but I like them to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. Although, 49ers defense,
Hey, we're
And
going
Seahawks.
to... Once they... They're playing Atlanta.
yeah, it's a
Interesting.
cakewalk.
It's a cakewalk, yeah. But I don't know, man. We'll see how those 49ers look, because that defense is insane. And again, who they lose to? Saints? Was there a 1 loss?
I don't know. You have the schedule open, do you not?
Yeah, I have it open right now.
So why don't you answer your own question?
I got a slow ass laptop, bro.
What company is that? A Dell?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too. Damn Dell.
Oh, you got a Dell?
Yeah, they
Oh,
sold
yeah, you do.
they sold me on
I
some
didn't notice
BS. I listened to my uncle who's in tech.
They lost to Los Angeles Rams.
It's a respectable loss.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm happy that you segued that, because I want to give an honorable mention to LA Rams. Everybody's quick to write them off after the start of the season.
Yeah.
They are quietly now 5-3, and listen to their next
Is the
opponents.
addition of Jalen Ramsey.
Listen to their next opponents.
Nasty,
Pittsburgh
bro.
and Chicago should beat them.
Both.
Then
yeah.
Baltimore. Okay, Baltimore
It's
could
a
be
hard game,
could
yeah.
win. Hard game. Then you go Arizona. They should beat them. Seattle, hard game. I think they're going to be pissed off the way they lost to Seattle last time when they should have won on that last second field goal. Then you play Dallas, who's a pretender.
Yeah.
San Fran, tough. And then Arizona. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but there's about 5 wins left for them there. So
Exactly,
they could
yeah.
get to 10 wins, and we could potentially see 3 teams from the NFC West making the playoffs.
Which would be insane.
I could see the Rams and Seahawks both taking the wild card if the 49ers are winning the division.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be mind-boggling. I
Will
don't
they
know.
be the best coming into it? Who else would be fighting for that wild card spot? You got Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina's going to fall off.
Yeah.
Either Dallas or Philly could be.
But both those teams,
Up and down.
they ain't got big chance against fucking Seahawks.
I
or
think it's open for the 3 teams in NFC
yeah,
West.
that's actually
And
great. NFC West.
I
is
like
coming
Jared
on
Goff
strong.
more than most people. And
Yeah, you love him.
He's been turning it around last few weeks.
He has, yo. They're probably regretting how much they're paying him at the start of the season, but he can change that.
Talking about people regretting paying people. Maple Leafs might be regretting a couple contracts, eh? Mitch Marner, I don't know. Hasn't done much for me lately. What have you done for me lately? That's what we say in sports. Don't care what you did in the past. What have you done for me lately?
Exactly. And hey, I always said, if he's this focused on money this early in his career, that's not a good thing, man.
Yeah. All right. Leafs are on a 3-game win streak, aren't they?
Yeah.
Philly,
Can't be too mad.
LA, and Vegas. You watch any of those games?
Yeah, I watched
Philly.
the one against
Philly.
None of them, bro.
Philly, you were at the bar. We were not sitting together. TV was on. You must have
you know
seen
what else was on?
No, you know what you were watching?
The UFC.
You know what you were watching instead of watching the
and the
Leafs
Raptors
game?
were on,
You know
bro.
what you were watching instead of watching the Leafs game? Is what you told me. You're like, yo, during the shootout, I was just watching you to see your expression.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
sitting at
the shootouts was actually... Fair enough.
I'm like, so instead of watching the damn game,
That was one of the
what
toughest
happened.
shootouts to watch, man. Holy.
Painful. These Leafs guys, because you know why they would be
So
so good
bad.
if I was coaching them.
Yeah.
That's the guys that are sitting at the table with me. I said they're not going to score until one of these idiots starts deking Brian Elliott. Brian Elliott is such a garbage goaltender. You can put his jockstrap 70 miles away.
Here's my
and when
thing.
Spezza finally deked, the first guy to deke
I'm
since
so happy with Spezza
since
too.
Matthews
At
lost the
least-
puck,
Yeah.
he scored.
Here's my thing though. I don't know a lot about hockey. I've never played it. What the hell were those shots? Their goalie takes up maybe 95% of the net, and they're clapping it from like a distance, or they're just throwing. There's no move. You like this guy's getting paid millions to be there. You think he's gonna be tricked by what? Just a shot? Oh my god, it was so bad. And then Spezza, he does that one move, works beautifully, and then the next 5 shots are the exact same thing again. It's
So
it was difficult for me to watch, man.
some Leafs fans have seen they're getting a little hyped up, right? Because Leafs are on a 3-game win streak,
Yeah.
right? So Philly's, they're a 500-ish team. LA, bottom of the Western Conference, beat them 3-1, and then Vegas. That game last night was painful, even though they stole a win. Austin Matthews stole that game for them. The inconsistency from the first period to the second period for the Leafs is, to me, why I said preseason they're not a cup contender, and I got chewed out for it. Tweeted it again last night. Some people were sliding in, talking shit about me. But in the first period, they look like they're the cup champions.
Yeah.
Just couldn't score, but they were on fire. In the second period, 14 minutes into the second period, so with 6 minutes left in the second period, guess how many shots they had in the second period? With 6 minutes left in the period.
I'm assuming it's gonna be a low number because
Guess?
5.
0.
Okay.
All right. So, and they were struggling on the power play.
yeah.
That was a problem. But, you know how inefficient their power play has been? They're 21st in the league with all that firepower. And
21st.
21st. And everybody said when Tavares comes back, they'll be fine. And last night, they went 0 for 4 in their first 4. And then there's a gentleman named Carlo Koliakovo, NHL former defenseman. He's now on TSN Radio, hosts their morning show. He used to play for the Leafs as well. We got into it on Twitter a little bit, going back and forth last night.
You talked to him?
Yeah, I got the replies right here, bro.
What? Who are you, bro?
Listen, my
Last
opinion needs to be heard.
Subban's calling this guy.
Subban, I could give him some advice too. Alright, so he says the Leafs power play needs to have a shot mentality. And I got fired up. Alright? Because the main problem with the Leafs power plays is nobody to take the damn shot.
Exactly.
So I posed a question to Carlo. Who's taking the shots, Carlo? Riley's inability to develop a one-timer through 6-7 years of his career is mind-boggling. He has no slap shot. His wrist shot when he hits the hash marks is going bar down. Outside of the hash marks is a muffin.
Yeah.
Mitch Marner, it's not only that he doesn't look to shoot, he doesn't look to shoot because he can't shoot. All right? So, and then John Tavares is in a bumper position in the slot and in front of the net. So he's not in the shooting position on the power play. You can't ask Matthews to shoot it 10 times each power play. And how did they score their power play goal to tie up the game? Matthews took 4 shots on that power play and finally scored because he's just fed up. He won them the game. And then Carlo goes, you don't need to have a hard shot. It's the shot mentality, getting pucks to the net, right? And that ends up either something gets
I can see that. There's the pressure of
he goes, something gets redirected. You get the defenders moving, which opens up other lanes. And I said, okay, Carlo, I totally get that. And that's when I said, but Riley and Marner, maybe the reason why they don't look to the net is because they know their shots aren't good. So those two things tie in together. And I said, and this is where I said, your only option is to have Matthews to shoot it because Marner and Riley, something's in their head, and I don't know if that's gonna change. Marner's been in the league 4 years. Riley's now, I think, in year 8.
Marner just got his money, and he doesn't want to look bad.
Exactly. So
I feel like that's the issue.
I don't know if they're going to be able to capable of just putting pucks to the net, because that's not the way they're built.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Literally like 3 minutes later, Matthews takes 4 straight shots and then scores. And that is the only option on the power play right now. Their best solution.
Matthews.
Their best solution is to take Morgan Riley off the power play and put Tyson Barrie, who led one of the top power plays in the league last year, was the QB of that power play in Colorado. Okay? And he's got a wonderful shot. And pregame, I was watching some clips in pregame yesterday.
Yeah.
Banging one-timers from the blue line, top cheese. Like nobody's business. Bar down, bar down, bar down. Morgan Riley couldn't wish to do that if his life depended on it.
Hell, if this guy's working on it.
It's not he's working on it. He's good at it.
No, but I mean,
he
like,
is more
if
of
he's
an
putting in the work and
he is more of an offensive defenseman than Morgan Riley is. I think Babcock just doesn't want to hurt egos, and he likes Morgan Riley, and I get it. He's your number one defenseman.
You did say you could coach better than Mr. Babcock.
Oh, I definitely could. I'm telling you, at least strategize. All right. So he's playing personalities too much, and it's like why when Zach Hyman comes back, he's gonna give him like 70 minutes a night. Why he keeps talking about Zach? He finds any way possible to talk about Zach Hyman when Zach Hyman hasn't played a game this year because he's been injured. It's like he just I like this guy, so I'm gonna throw his name in there.
You see something in him, bro?
No, but he sees things with blinders on. I love Morgan Riley. He's our guy. He's our number one defenseman. But on the power play, Tyson Barrie is better. More versatile. You need more shots, or pull Tavares from that position.
Yeah.
But where are you going to put him on the outside? Because you got Riley, Marner, and Matthews on the outside. So where's Tavares going to be there? Maybe put Janssen in the slot and then have Tavares roaming down low to come back
early
around.
though. They can make
it's
these.
Not that early. They're 17 games in.
Yeah, that's still.
And they have 2 games ahead of most of the rest of the conference.
Adjustments can be made, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. So.
Yeah, but they haven't played. Only played one good team in that winning streak, and last night.
Who they play next?
Freddie Anderson stole them the game last night. Stole them the game, my friend. And he hasn't been too good, but he's been playing a lot better as of late.
Yeah.
So their next game, they're going on a road trip. I'm fairly certain. Their next 3 games. So they play Philly again, then Chicago. 2 weak teams.
Yeah.
Then they play at New York. Thanks, the score. How about you tell me Islanders or Rangers, would you?
They just say New York?
Just says NY.
That's so funny.
I think it's going to be Islanders because Rangers would probably say NYR. And then Boston, Pittsburgh, Vegas. Then they go tough again. You know, Matthews has 13 goals this season. 12 of them have come on home ice.
13, really?
It's 13 or 12. He's only scored 1 goal on the road. He's only scored 1 goal on the road, though. All have been at home.
How many road games do they have coming up?
The next 3.
Next 3. Hey, he's got time to change that. You know? Just like I said, adjustments can be made. So still early.
Alex Ovechkin, though, a lot of people talking
better
about
on the road.
A lot of people talking about the discrepancy there for Matthews.
Yeah.
Alex Ovechkin only has 12 goals in the season. Only 1 at home.
At home.
But nobody's talking about why Ovi can't perform.
What's more impressive to you, though?
Scoring more goals on the road.
Or on the road? On the road, right?
Scoring more goals on the road. But Matthews has shown these last night, end of the second period, last 2 minutes, he's like, I'm getting us going.
Yeah.
Was dog on fire, and then the third period, and again, end of the third period,
he gets fired up off the crowd, man.
He just took over the game. And a lot have been said about his inconsistency so far this year, but last couple games, he's been their best player by far.
It's led to him to 3 games in a row.
I don't know. Toronto Nation, Leafs Nation, they're all going crazy. This team is supposed to be cup contenders. Listen, they're not cup contenders. Get used to it.
Leafs Nation always goes crazy, man. Come on.
They piss me off.
That's the most passionate.
Listen, I go crazy too, but I'm realistic.
That's the most passionate fan base, I feel. In sports.
In hockey. Probably in sports. Probably in sports. All right. We're a little bit over an hour 15 or so. Do you want to get to some UFC?
Yeah, we just had a crazy event this weekend. And
let me get your first opinion. Let me ask you this question.
Yep.
What do you think about the stoppage? Rightfully so or no? You've been in fights? You've been bodied? What do you think? I have my opinion, but I'd like to hear your fighter's opinion.
So, if I'm the doctor, you don't stop that fight.
Really?
You don't stop that fight.
Really?
This is... Bro,
so you don't agree with the stoppage?
You got... Huh?
So you don't agree.
I'll tell you why. But I'll also tell you why I don't think if they didn't do the stoppage, the fight would change.
Well, no shit. Diaz is good in the 4th and 5th round. Is that if that's what you're gonna say?
No, I'm saying why it wouldn't change.
Oh, okay.
So, again, The cuts, how they do it is if there's a cut right at the top.
His whole eye. It was right under his eyebrow, right?
It's right at the corner, though. So when the cut,
but the stitches were all here. Like they shaved his eyebrow. Stitches were all here.
So stitches went all around, but where the blood pours is at the end of the cut.
Yeah.
So that pouring goes down here. The only reason they stop cuts around the eyes is when the cut's so close to the eyelid, you can lose your vision. Right?
Yeah, all the blood starts pouring.
And now you start opening up that area, your eye's exposed to everything now. So that cut that they just had a few weeks ago, a boxing fight, Tyson Fury, he had a cut on his eyelid, he had a cut right at the top of his eyebrow, and in New York, they chose not to stop it. Because they said he can fight on, because as worrisome as his vision is, he's telling the ref, I'm fine, just let me keep going. It's exactly the same as what Diaz was doing. And this is the biggest fight the UFC's had in months. Even the New York's had. All the millions of people tuning in to watch. You don't stop it from a cut, man.
Okay.
You heard
Can I counter that for you?
Yeah.
One, I get what you're saying. But you can't let the atmosphere and the external situation...
He's a doctor, yeah. I understand that. Yeah.
...impact your health decisions. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but number two, to me, the way that cut looked... Obviously, you know more of like how, as a fighter, that's going to impact you.
Yeah.
But that was his eyelid, and it was the corner, right?
It wasn't his eyelid, though. It was his eyebrow.
Okay, but right above.
Yeah.
Okay, bottom of the eyebrow, above the eyelid.
Yeah.
So, if a few shots come from, because it's his left eye, Masvidal's right hand, and the cut starts spreading more towards the top of the eye, could his eyelid not fall over and his eyeball fall out or something?
Huh? No, so the eyebrow is... Bro, the eyebrow's... You, like, touch your eyebrow. You ain't got a lot there.
That's what I'm saying.
If that all cuts up, all that happens is blood. If they...
Yeah, but that's like what I'm saying. Eyeball's going then.
You let it get to that. This is Nate Diaz we're talking about.
What that happens, like that one strike comes and then boom, it's done.
No, his cut was in no position to affect his vision. His cut...
vision. But it could have got worse, and in that moment could have done serious damage.
When you're stopping
to his
a
eyeball.
fight...
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Wait, no. To his eyeball? No.
Or...
The only thing was it would require more stitches and more blood would be flowing. That's it. Now, if this is what
I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure if your eyelid collapses,
it's not
your
the
eyeball
eyelid. Is what I'm telling you.
Okay, but
it's the eyebrow.
Okay, if this whole thing starts falling down,
it doesn't go because there's not a lot there. Is what I'm telling you. There's not a lot there. It just stays there. What's it called? So when you're a doctor, you step into the ring. You look. Is the blood pouring into his eye? No, it's not. It's falling down to the side. Okay. Is his eyeball in any risk of being permanently damaged? No, it's not, because his eyelid's not cut. His eyelid is still there to protect the eye. So then, okay, I understand what you were saying. If he gets hit a few more times, it's gonna spread. You let it get to that point.
That's
the round
risky, though.
Is about to start.
Think from the doctor's perspective. If he
I
lets that
understand
go and it gets to that point,
and
they can't stop it, because does a doctor have the authority where if he sees it mid-round, he can put his hand up and say, "Stop this fight"? Or can he only evaluate or he can only evaluate
if there's a lot of blood
rounds?
flowing, the ref says stop. They take a break. They take him to the doctor. The doctor reviews it.
So, think from the doctor's perspective. If that happens middle of the next round and he suffers serious damage, it's on him.
Not really. At the end of the day, it's always on the fighter. Why aren't you protecting your face?
I guess. Man, I had less of a problem with that stoppage than I did Anthony Joshua or Andy Ruiz.
You had a problem with that stoppage?
Yeah. He gave him his hands. He was ready to go.
What did he was on the corner like this looking at him.
He was
not wanting to go, bro. No. You can see it in a fighter's eyes. They don't want to fight.
Listen, UK took such an L that night. It still bothers me.
Okay, but with Diaz, the thing is, okay, if the doctor says it, he says it. You can't argue that. I don't believe that fight would have changed if he comes into the 4th, 5th round.
Masvidal was in such a roll.
I know 4th and 5th always favors Diaz, but if you look
back... But that's when he's had a good fight.
If you look back at the Conor McGregor fight, when they went 5 rounds the second time, in the 3rd round, Diaz started to build that momentum up, coming back, wins the end of the round, right? So everyone thinking, McGregor is getting tired. McGregor gets a second win, the 4th round, completely outclasses and dominates Diaz. Yeah. Diaz, as good as he is, his focus is pressure. Jorge Masvidal, you're not going to pressure him. Bro, that guy's crazy.
He's never worried.
That guy's ready to kill you. I feel like he just would have came out. And Diaz is not a guy that finishes guys. He'll finish guys submission. You're not going to submit Jorge Masvidal because he's a high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist. Knockout, he doesn't knock guys out. Is it an important call?
I don't know. It's a number. I don't know.
But yeah, in a knockout, he's not getting knocked out. Jorge Masvidal has an amazing chin, and Diaz is not a knockout puncher. So, okay, if it didn't get stopped then, it would have been stopped later. That's just how I feel. So
I agree. Masvidal
I
was all
kind of
over
did
him.
have a problem with it at first, but later on looking at it, I'm like, there's no problem, man.
Do you think they should run him back? I don't think I need to see that fight again. Masvidal was all over him.
I agree, man. I can see
Like,
who's
I think
better.
Masvidal's a guy
After
of class and
watching the fight,
respect.
I can see who's better. You know?
Here's the thing. Initially, after the fight in the ring, I know Masvidal was saying like, "Yo,
It's
like,
just because
my opponent finished standing up.
Yeah.
I didn't win." But I think in that post-fight presser, he realized, "Yo, I kicked this guy's ass."
Exactly.
I think his tone
you had time
changed.
to watch it back.
I think
man.
his
Yeah.
tone changed in that, whatever, 30, 40 minutes.
Well, same with Diaz. You see, he posted an Instagram picture of him smoking, and it said, "Fuck it, I'm going on a 2-year tour of something. I'm done with the UFC, basically."
He said that.
Yeah. So
Why don't you send that to me?
Diaz is a loose cannon. He says this all the time. Even before the Masvidal fight, he says, "I'm not showing up to New York," because they said that they thought they found something in his system related to steroids, and he got offended by that. So he's like, "I'm not showing up to New York." He's a loose cannon. He'll say all these things and then go back on it later. Do I think they're gonna run him back? No, because I think he's in a position to go fight for a title. Why would you go run back against a guy you clearly beat?
Yeah.
It's a waste of time.
So
Or chase a McGregor fight, because that could get you 100 million.
who, Diaz?
No,
Or
Masvidal. Yeah.
Who do you think Masvidal should fight next? I don't see that Masvidal Conor fight happening.
Yeah.
I don't think Conor would be crazy to take that fight, man. That guy's.
Well,
I know Conor's not scared of many people, but that guy could rip his head off, as Masvidal said.
Yeah. And it's just it makes no sense for McGregor. If you're trying to get to a title, that's not gonna get you to a title.
Exactly.
And if your legacy fight, like, he's not like the crazy. It's not a crazy legacy. It's not like fighting
Yeah,
George
but
St.
it's
Pierre.
a good rebound after getting bodied by Habib.
It is. And
If you were to beat Masvidal,
stylistically, he probably enjoy
He's
that
better
more.
suited
Exactly.
for McGregor to fight than Habib.
But do I think it's gonna happen? No. I see. There's the title fights happening at welterweight in December between Kobe Covington and Kamaru Usman. And I feel like that's just the winner of that's gonna fight Jorge Masvidal. Especially if Kobe Covington wins, because they used to be training partners and they're best friends. They live together, and then they have this huge beef now.
Him and Masvidal.
Masvidal and Kobe Covington,
Yeah.
because he didn't pay his coach or something, so they're all beefing now. So I feel like if Kobe Covington wins, it's a no-brainer. There's drama, there's a story. You're gonna make that fight.
Yeah. All right, let's shift to finish off. Conor McGregor announced that he's coming back January 17th, I believe, or 18th.
Yeah.
Dana White says he doesn't know what he's talking about. If that is true, who do you think he should fight?
Apparently, it's Cowboy that they're trying to set him up with. Which
Cowboy
I feel
Cerrone?
who's coming off 2 losses in a row. Which I feel, again, I just, some of these fights just don't. I feel like he should, which he should. He should get an easier fight. But you don't fight a guy that's coming off a loss, especially 2 in a row, and he just got knocked out in the first round in his last fight. It's not gonna do anything for
That
you.
doesn't give you any jurisdiction and
No, this is like
and ranking
you
in your
beat him.
division.
You're not fighting Khabib next.
Yeah, that doesn't propel you towards
Exactly.
a contention.
I think you should fight a guy like Justin Gaethje, who's
That'd
coming
be a
off
great fight.
3 knockouts in a row, all 3 in the first round.
Yeah.
And that guy just takes hits to the head. So that'd be a crazy fight to watch, man.
Conor could just pound his head until it
Yeah.
explodes.
But Conor also said he doesn't want to fight him. So I don't know what Conor wants.
You know what? Conor's talking a lot. I thought
For the last
I had said I thought he was gonna change and figure his shit out after the Ariel Helwani interview. I'm not too convinced
it's the same,
anymore.
Conor.
I think that maybe was just a PR ploy. Let me act sad and remorseful and all
Yeah.
that. Yada yada yada.
Even if he does feel bad, are you gonna change? No.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe in
don't
his
feel-
head now.
Who cares if you feel bad then?
I think he's scared.
Huh?
I think Conor is scared of some of these guys right now. In the
You know
UFC.
what? There's a legendary boxer, Marvin Hagler. He said, "It's hard for me to wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. and go on a run in Gucci." Meaning, once you make that money, the motivation's gone. You don't
Yeah.
want to, like...
Keep doing
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Like, you don't want to get out of your bed at 6 a.m., go on this crazy run, and murder yourself in your body. And you're like,
When you don't have to
what's
anymore.
the goal? What's the goal? Yeah.
Unless
At
you
the point
really
is,
want
what's
to
the
choke
goal?
somebody out and beat their
If
face.
the goal
into
was to
ground.
make money, you made it. If the goal was to be a biggest UFC star of all time, you made it. What's the goal at this point? So why are you fighting?
I would just love to see him back in the ring.
Exactly. Yeah, we would all too. And it would have to be if he actually loves to fight. That's the only reason I could see him coming back.
Do you,
Otherwise, don't do it.
Do you think we will see him for sure in 2020, whether it's January or sometime in that year?
I think we'll see him one last time.
Will it be in 2020?
Yes, I feel it will be in January. He'll stay to his word, but I feel like that'll be it. I feel like he'll come back. They're gonna end up giving him someone that he shouldn't fight. He's gonna lose again, and he's gonna be done with it. I don't see him making another run.
I get the feeling a lot of guys don't want to fight him. They don't care. They don't like him.
Because
they don't want to give him that notoriety.
The thing is, they don't want to give Conor that notoriety?
Yeah, like helping this guy out.
Because the thing is, he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. You're under Conor now. You know, he's deciding everything. So it's kind of like screw this guy at this point. Before, he's the money fight. He still is the money fight. But
Ruiz had to deal with that with Anthony Joshua, and now he's on top of the world. If you beat a guy like that,
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It goes both ways. You're making a lot of money if you fight Conor McGregor, and if you beat him, your name's out there. Yeah. So
it propels you to new heights.
If I'm a fighter, I'm fighting.
I'm lining up because if you win that fight, it propels you up the rankings. You get notoriety, popularity,
and you get the money. What's why we're all in here for?
And everybody in society that didn't know your name now before
will know you now. Yeah.
will definitely know you afterwards.
Well, yeah, look at Khabib. No one knew. Like they knew who Khabib was.
It wasn't that big, but you saw him dismantle Conor.
Yeah.
And then you're like, holy.
Who's this guy? Yeah. Let's watch his highlights. Let's watch this. Yeah.
We didn't talk about Antonio Brown, but that guy's.
Oh, the whole.
That guy's
screwed the NFL.
Yeah, but then you see what he put out 2 hours later.
What?
He just wants to play football.
Yeah. You know what?
Man, how many times can you say you're done with the NFL and then you want to be back in the NFL? Just give it a rest. You're so bored. Just how about you put your head down, you work, send some film, invite some teams to informal workouts and to watch you if you really want to get back to football. Otherwise, I'm tired of it. Had enough of it. Just shut your mouth and do your job or retire.
Here's my thing. It's a sensitive topic because you can't assume things like this about guys. I think he's suffering from a lot of CTE damage. This is why this is all coming out. He's getting... So see, when you get hit in the front of your forehead, that's where all your emotions and how you act, that's where... It's basically everything for you.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing from him is a lot of bipolarism.
He's acting like Kanye West.
But he's almost... He'll act out, he'll regret it.
Yeah,
and then he'll act out, he'll regret it.
It's a never-ending cycle.
You see that a lot of guys who have brain damage.
It's weird. Man. I mean, we're drawing conclusions. Obviously, we're not doctors.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know. I don't want to say it, but
it's from what I'm seeing, it's because it was like halfway through the season in Pittsburgh last year, the flip just switched.
Exactly. Antonio Brown. He's one of the best wide receivers. Like I've never seen this from him. Even Big Ben, he was calling me his big brother. You know, like they're so close.
And out of nowhere, Big Ben talks, he just tells him to shove it.
Exactly. And now he hates Big Ben. So it's kind of like, where did all this come from? Even him playing, he was so excited to go to Oakland. Everything switched.
But I don't like guys like these. They bother me. They upset me when they're so in and out.
It's bipolar, bro.
One foot in, 1 foot out is good for nobody. It's 2 feet first in the door or get out and go focus on something else. Like you said where you were yesterday before you 2 hours later.
But that's what I mean. Like he'll say that, like I'm done with football, and then he'll be sitting there and be like, but what am I outside of football?
He's nothing.
Exactly. So then
he's back in school doing online courses, but
is he?
Yeah.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
Oh my god.
He went back to his alma mater.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about that we could have talked about now that you just said that?
Throw it in quick.
Who was that? What was his name? What's it called? The college coach who talked about them paying players now. Remember he sent it to me on Instagram. He said what it should be about is making sure they get their
Calipari
education.
John Calipari, Kentucky coach.
Yeah. And I fully agree with him. Now that you're paying players, it's almost like, okay, I'm going to the league and making the money. That's what I want. How many of those players make it to the league? 10% of them. So what the hell are the rest of them going to do?
They're still there for 4 years to get their education.
They should be.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys are aiming to go to the NBA.
But listen,
go to the D League.
But listen, okay, they're getting paid, but it's not like these guys are going to be making racks and millions.
Yeah, when you start making even the littlest amount of money doing any sport,
they're going to be making the equivalent to you working a full-time minimum wage job.
Yeah. But it's something. I know some of these guys who box and they get paid so if you make the Olympic team, they'll pay you like $2,000 a month just to train.
Yeah.
$2,000 a month is nothing. but they get so excited about that. It's like, whoa, I'm actually getting paid for this now?
$2,000 a month is it's a little bit less than what I make, but
huh?
I mean, I make more than that, but it's not like I make twice that in a month.
I know, but like it's not that much, but it's like to them, it's like, whoa, you still can't live anywhere in Toronto. You still can't live you can't live alone. Really, you'll be struggling.
In someone's backyard in Toronto.
Live in someone's exactly.
You see this house that sold for like $6 million the other day, and it only was like 3-bedroom.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that little excitement is gonna stir them in the wrong direction, especially if you're not a guy who's NBA caliber. Yeah. It's gonna be like, okay, I can go to the D League.
Listen, here's the thing: is those guys who are not gonna make it, they're starters who are role players.
Yeah.
Some guys who are actually impact, but the guys who are gonna be the 4 years anyways. We're not talking about those guys needing to get paid, because those are not the guys who are generating the revenue of people coming to watch them most of the time. They're not the guys whose jerseys are being sold. They're not the guys who are doing the interviews, signing autographs, and selling away memorabilia. They're not the superstars. They're not the ones generating the revenue. So I don't really care if those guys get paid or not, because they were there for the education and should be there 4 years to get a damn diploma.
But I feel like paying them makes them think of going to college differently. You're not going to so if you're not
listen,
you're not NBA caliber.
We are talking about a topic that not enough has been decided on how the pay scale is going to work and all that. So until we have all that information, I think it's too hasty to go down the road of what Calipari said, because we don't have the facts yet of how it's going to work out.
I know, but I understand where he's going at. The point of going to college should be to get your education first.
Yeah, but then it's not for those one and done guys. It's never like the guys who are really going to the NBA, the top recruits. Yeah, they're nowhere near thinking I'm here 4 years and I'm getting an education.
But what about,
they say it's a stepping stone. I just gotta do this so I can get to the league.
What's Anthony Bennett doing at the moment? He ain't got a diploma. I mean,
he's still making money playing basketball.
Well, how much though?
He's probably making 80,000-90,000 Canadian.
Where is he playing?
I don't know, somewhere overseas. Rockets cut him. He's probably somewhere overseas now.
I don't know, man.
Listen, but that's how.
But it's just like you said, Antonio Brown is right now, because injuries happen. Almost, it's almost going to happen if you're playing a professional
Listen, if you want to go down that route, then you say, okay, Canadian Hockey League, OHL, QMJHL, WHL, all flawed. They all don't work. All those guys lose their NCAA eligibility by playing in one of those leagues when they play one preseason game. All right? And then they don't make the NHL. They play in the OHL until they're 21, and then they go play anywhere else, or maybe you go to Canadian University.
I remember this girl I worked with, her boyfriend was
those players. Nobody is saying if you go and you don't get drafted and you want to go tripping overseas, doesn't work out, that you can't go back to school. You just can't go back to school and play basketball D1, but you can go back to school and finish your education. Nobody is stopping these guys from doing that. They just choose
some
not
guys,
to,
bro.
They all think that they can get back to the league. That's their problem.
Exactly.
It's their problem.
Exactly. And you know what does changes? This is what I'm saying. Money stirs you in that direction that I can make it.
Yeah, so they're already making those dumb decisions. I don't think this is going to change a whole lot, because kids are already making these dumb decisions.
I think if you don't, when you're playing in college, you're not making money, you're not even playing that well, you start thinking, okay, you know what? Basketball might not be the thing for me.
But listen, if you're making decent money, sure, but when that kid's maybe getting an $80 check a week, that's going to change him?
$80 check, bro. Come on.
Those bench players, man.
$80 a week. You think that's what the pay's gonna be?
Okay, so I don't know how it's gonna work yet, but Duke last year, you think the 15th guy on their bench should be making the same as RJ Barrett and Zion Williamson last year?
I don't. No, I don't think they should be making any money at all.
No, but I'm saying if they were, if they were, you think everybody in the team should be making the same amount of money? Hell no. So if that guy's only getting $80-$100 a week and he goes and blows it at Chick-fil-A for 2 dinners with his girlfriend, he's gonna be thinking, I'm blessed for life.
But I'm telling you, it's a different kind of, when you start getting paid for doing something you love, it just changes everything.
All right, agree to disagree, and I think we should end off on that note, because the problem, we don't do shows every week. We could just go on and on and on and on and on for 7 hours.
Yeah. Some of these podcasts I see on the internet nowadays are like 2 hours.
Yeah. They also get viewers and listeners.
How long is ours? Hour and 30,
Yeah. It's good talk. I'm glad to be back here with you.
Good episode, yes sir.
All right. We are
to be
now
back in the mix.
And now we are out of the mix.
We're gonna exit.
My guy Alex Kucukovic. I'm Jay Boyal. Catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Yes, sir.
Click subscribe and like.